Hello friend, how are you all? I hope you all are doing good. Today in this video we are going to continue our series. In last video we have done up to 23 question. Now we have to start from question number 24. So we will start without wasting a single minute. Let's start. Who wrote the novel Mary Barton? So the novel Mary Barton is written by Miss Gaskell. The important, who wrote the novel Mary Barton? So the answer is Miss Gaskell. So let's go in brief explanation of this. Elizabeth Calhoun Gaskell. What is the name? Elizabeth Calhoun Gaskell, often referred as Miss Gaskell, was English novelist, biographer and short story writer. Okay. So now come to the Mary Barton. A Tale of Manchester Life is the first novel by English author Elizabeth Gaskell, published in 1848. Friend, this is 1848. So, where it is published? 1848. So, let me tell you about something more about this novel. The story is set in the English city Manchester between 1839 to 1842. What is the time period of the story? 1839 to 1842, and deal with the difficulties faced by Victorian working class. So the story deal with the difficulties faced by Victorian working class. The novel begin in Manchester, where we are introduced to Barton and Wilson, two working class family. See friend, Barton and Wilson are the friend, and Barton is the father of Mary Barton. Okay. So other options are not important, so I have not mentioned them. Those other options are important, I have mentioned them. Which are not important, I didn't them because they all confuse us. Okay. So let's go to the question number 25. The line poetry is a criticism of life occur in. So the line occur in the study of poetry. Where does this occur? The line poetry is a criticism of life occur in the study of poetry is the most famous piece. Friend, famous is missing here. Is the most famous piece of literary criticism by Matthew Arnold. So what is this? This is very famous work from Matthew Arnold. So let's go to the other option. Other option were given culture and anarchy. As an essay in political and social criticism is a series of periodical essay by Matthew Arnold, published in Cornell magazine 1867 to 1868 and collected as a book in 1869. So if the question comes, friend, the question can come like that. Name the periodical essay which was published by Cornell magazine from 1867 to 1868 and collectively published in 1869. The answer is Culture and Anarchy by Matthew Arnold. Okay. So the other important options was Modern Painter. So is a 5-volume work by eminent Victorian art critic John Ruskin. Only this much important. Modern Painter is a 5-volume work by the eminent Victorian art critic John Ruskin, published in 1848. Starter Resartus. Starter Resartus is an 1836 novel by Thomas Cryle, first published as a series in Fraser magazine. So friend, if they ask you the writer name, so keep in mind the study of poetry is written by Matthew Arnold. Culture and Anarchy is written by Matthew Arnold. Modern Painter is written by John Ruskin. Starter Resartus is written by your Thomas Cryle. Okay. So if the match come, you will match correct. Your match will be correct if you learn this. Okay. And question number 26. Martha Quest was written by. So the Martha Quest was written by Doris Lessing. So let's go into the depth. Martha Quest is a second novel of British Nobel Prize literature Doris Lessing and first of the 5-volume semi-autobiographical The Children of Violence series, which trace Martha Quest's life to middle age, published in 1952. So this much was important for our question number 26. Now question number 27. So the term stream of consciousness was taken from the book So the stream of consciousness was taken from the book The Principles of Psychology. Friend, the writer is also very important, so I have mentioned here. The Principle of Psychology is an 1890 work. It is published in 1890 about psychology by William James. Friend, do not forget, a stream of consciousness is taken from Principle of Psychology written by William James. And friend, other more terms are there which are very important, they can ask, so I have mentioned them also. So the first, stream of consciousness, is also called James' most famous psychological metaphor. What it is called? James' most famous psychological metaphor. So if they ask what is the another name of stream of consciousness, so the answer will be James' most famous psychological metaphor. And another term was coined, emotion, James' long theory. What emotion is known as? James' long theory. Habit. Human habits are consistently formed to achieve certain result. And will is through James' personal experience in life. So another of 28 question is G.S. Fraser's The Golden Bough focus on. So it focus on archetypes, archetypes. Friend, archetypes is like one particular thing, like someone is hero or someone is magician or someone is a mythical person. Okay, the Golden Bough, a study in comparative religion. What is Golden Bough? Study in comparative religion, retitled The Golden Bough, a study in magic and religion in the second edition. So the second edition name was The Study in The Golden Bough, a study in magic and religion. It is second edition. So archetypes means here they are talking about magic and religion. Is a wide-ranging comparative study of mythology and religious, written by the Scottish anthropologist Sir James George Fraser. So now they can also ask, The Golden Bough is written by. So the answer will be Sir James George Fraser. Sir James George Fraser. Okay. Come to the question number 29. Aurthur Millers Death of Salesman relies for its tragic seriousness on the fate of. So Willy Loman, as we all know, this is very famous playwright. Willy Loman is a central figure of this play. So Death of Salesman is a 1949 stage playwright. Death of Salesman is a 1949 stage playwright written by American playwright Aurthur Millers. It is a two-act tragedy set in the 1940s New York, told through a montage of memories, dream and argument of the protagonist Willy Loman. So who is the protagonist? Willy Loman, a traveling salesman who is disappointed with his life and appear to slipping into sensibility. So Willy Loman is the central figure and he is a traveling salesman there, and he is very stressed with his work, he is very disappointed with his life. So question number 30. Let's go to the question number 30. The chapter Leopold Bloom. The character Leopold Bloom make appearance in the novel. So he make appearance in the novel Ulysses. Ulysses. Ulysses is a modernist novel by Irish writer James Joyce. What is? It is a modernist novel by James Joyce. It is considered one of the most important work of modernist literature and has called a demonstration and summation of entire movement. So what is called a demonstration and summation of entire movement? So if the question comes, which work has been called a demonstration and summation of the entire movement, the answer will be Ulysses by James Joyce. So according to the Declan Gibbard, before Joyce, no writer of fiction had so foregrounded the process of thinking. Means he's saying before Joyce. Who says? Declan Gibbard. So other important topic for this is author is James Joyce. Genre is modernist novel set in Dublin. One time, friend, setting is also has been asked. So what was the setting place of Ulysses? So it is set in Dublin. 16 to 17 June 1904. Only one day story it is. 16 to 17 June. So, and publication date 2 February 1922. Okay. Ulysses chronicles the appointment and encounter of the enraged leopard Bloom in Dublin in the course of an ordinary day, 16 June 1904. Ulysses is the Latinized name of Odysseus. Okay. So that was all about the Ulysses. So let's go to the question number 31. Who is the following author represent the Sri Lankan diaspora? So the answer is Mikhail Onclatage. Onclatje. Onclatage. Mikhail Onclatage. So diaspora means friend who talk about their native place. Someone has gone to the other place for their work and search of food work, and now they in the work they talk about the native place, they show their love to their native place. So this much only is Mikhail Onclatage. Question number 32. Australian Aborigines receive a sympathetic treatment in Judith Wright. So Australian Aborigines means Australian originated. Okay. Sympathetic treatment in Judith Wright. So these questions have only this much important. So there's nothing more important in this. We have to just learn it. Margaret Atwood's survival make a case for. So now this is important. Margaret Atwood survival make a case for. So he make a case for the future of Canadian literature. So survival is a work. Okay, survival is a piece of work by Margaret Atwood. So if the question come, who written the work Survival? So the answer will be Margaret Atwood. Survival, a thematic guide to a Canadian literature. The complete name is Survival, a thematic guide to a Canadian literature is a survey of Canadian literature by Margaret Atwood. It was first published by House of Aquinas in 1972. So question number 34. Question number 34 is V.S. Naipual's latest book is Half a Life. Friend, in that time, the book was Half a Life is latest book, and after that, Magic Seed was next, and last, The Masque of Africa, Glimpse of African Belief. It was written in 2010. So, we are solving so old paper. So the answer is Half a Life, and so all the mentioned work was of V.S. other writer. Only one mentioned work was of V.S. Naipual is Half a Life. So the correct answer was Half a Life. If the other option given, The Masque of Africa, Glimpse of African Glyph. So the answer will be that. And V.S. Naipual died at August 11, 2018. So V.S. Naipual is also very important. So go through the V.S. Naipual, please. And question number 35, very important question. So I have making this much of big note for 35. Friend, one paper, one question, one note sometimes. See, one question takes one paper. So I really work hard. So please do subscribe and share my video with your friend, and do comment. If you want PDF, do comment in comment section. I will give you through WhatsApp or Telegram, whatever you prefer. Okay. So question number 35 is, which of the following book by Salman Rushdie refer to the 15th century Spain as starting point? So the answer is Grimace. Friend, Grimace is so important. So I have written so much about that. Let's start. Grimace is a 1975 fantasy and science fiction novel by Salman Rushdie. It was his literary debut. Debut means, friend, what is the meaning of debut? He is the first work of Salman Rushdie. That means that why it is so important. The story loosely follows Flapping Eagle. So the story is about Flapping Eagle, a young Native American man who received the gift of immortality after drinking the magic fluid. After drinking the fluid, Flapping Eagle wanders the earth for 777 years. How many, friend? This is summary I am telling you about Grimace. Okay. This is the summary, a little summary I have mentioned of Grimace. So this is very first work of Salman Rushdie. So it is very important for us. Okay. So I am just telling you. 7 months and 7 days. For how much eagle wandered for earth for 777 years and 7 months and 7 days, searching for his immortal sister and exploring identities before falling a hole in the Mediterranean Sea, where the answer is the Mediterranean Sea. He arrives in a parallel diamond at the Gulf Island, where those immortal who has tired of the world but are reluctant to give up their immortality exist in a static community under a subtitle and sister authority. So this was a brief summary of this. Published in 1975, Grimus was Salman Rushdie's first novel. Grimus was first novel. If the question come, name the first novel of Salman Rushdie. The answer will be Grimus. Okay. Question number 36. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf is written by, everyone know, very famous work, Edward Albee. And I have also mentioned all the important point because this has been asked repeatedly by the net. Who is Afraid of Virginia Woolf is a play by Edward Albee, first staged in October 1962. It examined the complicity of the marriage of a middle-aged couple, Martha and George. If the question comes that Martha and George are the central figure of novel, the answer will be Who is Afraid of Virginia Woolf. So what happened in this novel? I will tell you. Late one evening, after a university faculty party, they received unwanting younger couple. Uninviting means they didn't invite them. Nick and Honey as guests and draw them into their bitter and frustrated relationship. So the story is about bitter and frustrated relationship. Original language is English. Subject marital strife. Marital means marriage. Strife means marriage problem. Setting. What is the setting? If they ask what is the setting of play, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, the answer will be Martha and George, New England home. Okay. So I think you understand this, and there are two most important thing is that Martha and George are the central figure, and what the guests they receive Nick and Honey. Okay. So question number 37, IMamu Amriki Baraka is. So in this there was many option: American writer, Indian writer, or philosopher. What is Canadian writer? In name you can see Amriki is showing there, Amrik. So where he in name it is mentioned that he is from America. So without any hesitation we can say an American writer. And Baraka. Okay, let's know something else about also this, because what happened if they ask Amriki Baraka, October 7, 1934 to Jan 9, 1914. Previously known as Leroy Jones. So if they ask now, Leroy Jones is the another name of IMamu Amriki Baraka. He received the Pen Beyond Margins Award in 2008 for Tale of the Out and the Gone. So friend, here what I important found, according to me, now they can also ask the book, the tale of the Out and the Gone is written by. So the answer will be IMamu Amriki Baraka. Okay. So or they can ask for which work IMamu Amriki Baraka received Pen Beyond Margins Award in 2008. The answer will be Tale of the Out and the Gone. So come to the question number 38. The miscellany was published from the Writer Workshop. Miscellany though is very known, very famous work of literature. Why? Because songs and sonnet are usually called total miscellany. Was first printed anthology of English poetry, means it was first English printed poetry, first published by Richard Total in 1557 in London. It ran to many editions in the 16th century. So question number 39, name the writer recreates the life of the Yoruba Ibio community. So who recreate? Wole Soyinka, W-O-L-E Wole, S-O-Y-I-N-K, Wole Soyinka. Wole Soyinka is Nigerian playwright. So Friend, do not forget that Wolf Soyinka is a Nigerian playwright. So they can also ask Wolf Soyinka, as they asked there. Yeah, IMamu, you can see there. They asked there, IMamu Amriki Baraka is an American playwright. So they can also ask, and they can ask that Wolf Soyinka is. So the Wolf Soyinka is Nigerian playwright. He was awarded the 1968 Nobel Prize in Literature, the first Sub-Saharan American to be honored in the category. In that category, he was first Sub-Saharan African to be honored in that category. Okay, question number 40. Who of the following white female author are sympathetic to the cause of the black? So the answer is white female. Friend, do not forget where it is important. Who of the following white female author are sympathetic to the cause of the black? So the answer is Nadini Gardiner, okay, was South African writer. So what I said, do not forget, Nadini Gardiner is a South African writer. So as they can ask, political activist and recipient of the 1991 Nobel Prize in Literature. So their notable work are the conservationist, Burger's Daughter and Julie's People. What? Burger's Daughter and Julie's People. So they can ask, Burger's Daughter and Julie's People are written by, the answer will be Nadini Gardiner. Okay. 41. Very rocket science wala question is this. Many of people think that this is like a rocket science. Today this rocket science I am going to crack it. New criticism considered text as a. So new criticism is considered as a text. Autotalic. What is autotalic? Now I tell you what is autotalic. An autotalic is someone or something that has a purpose in itself. Means a thing which has to purpose in itself, which has some aim in itself. So what is new criticism? Now understand that. Name given to a style of criticism advocated by a group of academies writing in the first half of the 20th century. New criticism, like formalism, tended to consider text as autonomous and closed. What is meaning that everything that is needed to understand a work is present in itself. The reader does not need outside source such as author's biography to fully understand a text. Means, what is the means of new criticism? Means the work should be autotalic. Autotalic means the word should, if someone is writing a piece of work, a piece of novel, a piece of poetry, so it should be understandable. To understand that poetry, we should not read their autobiography. We should not know the author's biography. So this is the new criticism. Okay, I hope you understand what is new criticism. Such as, see what is written, the reader does not need outside source such as author's biography to fully understand a text. Means a text should be autotalic. Autotalic is someone or something that has purpose in itself. Okay, so no. New critics focus their all attention on the variety of degree of curtain literary devices, especially metaphor, irony, tensions and paradox. So new criticism, what they focus on? Metaphor, irony, intention, paradox, not to their birth or not to their other means options. Okay, new critics focused closed reading. Now what is closed reading? As a way to engage with text. Means we should know the text completely. I hope you all are getting my point, that what I mean to say. William K. Winsett and Mon Bertsley. William K. Winsett and Monroe Bertsley coined the term intentional falsity. Friend, I have making star there. This I am giving you extra knowledge. This was related to criticism. If they ask intentional fallacy is coined by, so this is coined by William K. Winsett and Monroe Bertsley. This is very important because we are reading criticism, so I added this point from myself. Okay, and other important term associated with new criticism include affective fallacy, heresy of perhaps, and ambiguity. They are other important terms. Okay. So I hope you understand today what is new criticism. Question number 42. Mythologies was written by. So Mythologies was written by Roland Barthes. Roland Barthes. So Mythology is a 1957 book by Roland Barthes. It's a collection of essay takes from Les Letters novels examining the tendency of contemporary social volumes system to the create modern myth. What he has done, he taken the essays from Les Letters novels and examined them, means read them, and he created the modern myths. So Barthes, Barthes, Barthes also look at the semiology of the process of myth creation, updating Faraday's, very important, Faraday de Sauzur's system of sign, analyzing by the adding a second level where signs are evaluated to the level of myth. Okay. Author is Roland Barthes. Original title is Mythologies. What is the original title? Mythologies. Translator. So friend, very important work is that who has translated the work Mythology in English? So the answer is Anity Lewis. Anity Lewis. Okay. Annettevers. Anity Lewis. Country France. Language French. Subject semiotics and structuralism. So in this mythology work by Ronald Barthes, he talk about semiotics, what I say that semiology, and structuralism. Publishers Lee Lathers Novellus. Publication date 1957. In 1957 it was published in a French language. Published in English 1972 by Anity Lewis. Okay. So come to the question number 43. The word catharies signifies. That is signifies written over here. The word catharies signifies. So the meaning of catharies is purgation. Purgation means purification. Okay. Catharies, the purification or purgation of the emotions. What? So in criticism, catharies is a metaphor used by Aristotle in the poetics to describe the effect of true tragedy on the spectator. Okay. I hope you understand catharies. From question number 40 onward, we have started the topic of criticism. Okay. 41, 42, 43. This is also catharies, also the work used in criticism. In criticism, catharies is a metaphor used by Aristotle in poetics to describe the effect of true tragedy on the spectator, and catharies means purgation, means purification. So question number 44. The rejection of universalism the rejection of universalism is a mark of post-colonial criticism. So universalism is rejected in post-colonialism. Now what we understand, what is universalism, what is post-colonialism. The debate on universalism has in India coherent especially around law and culture. Post-colonial theories allege that in the name of universal moral order, she has been pounded and imperialized by Western culture orientations during the colonial period. So what happened in colonization? Western people has colonized many colonies. So what they do in the name of universalism, man, in the name of universe means something trained, something Western do, it become universalism, means it is for all. Universalism means for all. So what post-colonial writer did, they reject this process. They reject universalism and they accept. What they accept? I will tell you. Post-colonialism has many common motifs and themes like culture dominance, racism, quest for identity, inequality, along with the some prescribed presentations style. Most of the post-colonial writer reflected the demonstrate many thematic concepts which are quite connected with both colonizer and colonized. So they also write about colonizer, those people who colonize and colonize those people who was colonized by them. Okay, so I hope you understand universalism was rejected by the post-colonial criticism. Okay, so the important thing is what we have to learn. The rejection of universalism is a mark of post-colonial criticism. So question number 45. See, I have making a complete explanation on one paper. How good I am. 45. Eliot's theory of objective correlative. Friend, today you are gonna learn it objective correlative. You will never forget how today I am going, how better I will explain it. Go see that. It is objective correlative. See, there is objective correlative. I have written there very appeared in his essay entitled. In which essay it appear? It appear in Hamlet. So today I am going to tell you what is objective correlative. Many people think it's so difficult. So T.S. Eliot used this phrase to describe a set of object, a situation, a chain of event which shall be the formula of that particular emotion that is the poet feels and hopes to evoke in the reader. In this line is called objective correlation, Hamlet 1919. Now I will tell you what is the simple English. There must be positive connection between the emotion and the poet is trying to express an object, image or situation in the poem that help to convey that emotion to the reader. Simply, T.S. Eliot is saying here that objective correlation means we have to express the situation like that reader can see, reader can relate them, reader can feel it. Okay, so what Eliot say more about this? Eliot thus determined the Shakespeare play Hamlet was an artistic failure. In this work only, Hamlet 1919, what Eliot say? Eliot says that it is artistic failure because Hamlet's intense emotion overwhelmed the author's attempt to express through an objective correlation. Now I will tell you in simple what Eliot want to say. In other words, Eliot felt that Shakespeare was unable to provoke the audience to feel the Prince Hamlet. Okay, so this is the summary of Hamlet 1919 written by T.S. Eliot, and in this work only his theory objective correlation is described. Okay, I hope you understand. Now come to the question number 46. Sprung rhythm is an example of meter. I hope you all know. Now from here literary devices has been arrived. Okay, 5 question of literary devices. Now a time literary device came they give a passage and then they tell this line to this line, which literary device is it, which rhythm is used. So sprung rhythm is an example of meter. Meter is the basically rhymatic, means rhyme is used, rhymatic structure of a line within a work of poetry. Meter consists of 2 components, the number of slave, a pattern of emphasis on those slave. Okay, this is called meter. So question number 47. More is thy due than more than all can pay in one. Is so this is the example of inversion, friend. So more is thy due than more than all can pay is an example of inversion. What is inversion? Today you gonna not forget inversion also. Inversion is also known as anastrophe, anastrophe is a literary technique in which the normal word is reversed in order to achieve a particular effect of emphasis or meter. Means what poet do? They just revert the word to get something attractive line. So the example if you don't understand by this example, I have given you one more example. Example of Adonis by P.V. Shelley. Shelley describes his favorite literary and political personality meter in the following line. What is the following? See, blind, old and lonely when his country's pride. So what he can do? He should write that the country's pride, blind, old and lonely. But what he did? He reversed the line. So this is inversion. I think now you will not forget, and please please learn it. And I have searched this example from many of work, so give you very perfect example. So the example I've taken from Adonis, work by P.V. Shelley. Blind, old and lonely, when his country's pride. It has written reversed, and another line is also written reversed. The pride, the slave and the liberty side, temperate and mocked with many loathed right. So what he would, so this is inversion. Okay, inversion is a literary technique in which they wrote in a reversed method. Now come to the question number 48. I don't think so I have to explain this. Unrhymed meter. Where the unrhymed word come means they are talking about blank verse. So what to explain in this? Unrhymed metrical composition consists of 5 iambic measures in each line is called blank verse. Okay. So 49. Words story dealing with the clevery knight, anarchy, enchantments and love are known as. So they are known as metrical romance. Now I will tell you what is metrical romance. The metrical romance is otherwise known as romantic poetry. The poem tells story in verse form. What they told story in verse form and depict the advance of romantic poetry. A metrical romance or a clevery romance is a type of narrative poem which typically centered on courtly love, means that knight, clevery deeds. Metrical romance do not need to have consist rhyme or meter. So famous example, I give you other example, Gavin and the Green Knight. Okay, so means what is metrical romance, where they are talking about clevery, knights, soldiers. Okay, this is metrical romances. Last question, question number 50. Finally we are going to complete our 1 PYQ set. Congratulations to all of you all. Congratulations to me especially. He is a citizen of no man city is an example of. It is an example of litotes. Litotes is a figure of speech and a form of understatement in which a sentiment is expressed ironically, means ironically by negating its contrary. I will tell you more example, then also you will. It's not the cheapest. So what they say, meaning it's somewhat expensive. It's somewhat expense. It could be worse, means it is good. Same, what happened if I will ask you how was my lecture, you will say not bad, means utne bure bhi nahi the, they were not bad. So this is the example of litosis. Okay, I hope you understand. And if you all want the notes of this, please do comment and write, give me notes. I will provide you notes. Okay, and please tell me how you like my notes, how you like my lecture. I really work hard to make this video. So at last, please do subscribe and share with your friend. Thank you so much.